Okay. So here we go. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. So this is Hinedere Beat. We've got a 55-minute estimate. This is a really bizarre 2D platformer that's got a lot of issues with it. It is not very well made. I began running the game because I run another game that this same developer made called Shin Samurai Jazz, and I wanted to just go ahead and try this one, and I kind of got stuck into spending a lot of time running and routing this game out. So, took world record down like 7 minutes. So, you probably noticed that we mentioned that this is run on the old patch of the game. There is very good reason for that. There were some massive issues with how the game was made, and a lot of negative reviews of the game, and the developer of the game said, wow, it's not selling very well. I know what would make it sell very well. We'll add in a bunch of 18 plus cutscenes, and that will fix all of the negative reviews if we just add a bunch of lewd content into the game instead of actually fixing all those control issues. And that's exactly what they did. So that's why we play on the old patch. Playing on the new patch or any new version of the game will feature a lot of imagery that would get us banned from Twitch, so we'll play this version. You know, it's better. It's better for everyone. I think my game audio is a little low because this game is just weird with audio, but you know. So this game is mostly parkour. There's very few enemies, very little enemy interaction. And most of this game is just jumping as much as possible. That being said, jumping controls in this game are absolutely terrible. And why do I say that? Well, this game isn't designed like competently, where, you know, your jump just sets you an automatic jump distance. No, instead of that, there are tiles in the game that you can land on and tiles you can't land on. Every single tile has one of those values, so whenever you jump, the game just it's not just a weird coincidence. It is that the game dev specifically said on a thread post in the Steam community tab for the game that he added in the adult stuff, hoping that it would make the game sell better. That he directly, openly said that. That was the reason for that. But the weird jumping issues where the game just basically, whenever you jump, it basically assigns from the moment you jump, say, you will land on X tile, and you can't really control it. It just kind of locks you into whatever tile is supposedly one that you can land on. So your jumping distance is never set. Sometimes your jump goes a lot farther than normal. Sometimes it goes a lot shorter than normal. It just does it. There's not much. It just happens. There's not much you can do to control it. You just have to start memorizing positioning. And once you do that, you will be able to jump in ways that you know that you will always get a longer jump. Also, whenever you land, you stop moving for a moment. There is no way to stop moving. Like, there's... If you jump, you land, and all your momentum dies. That's just the way it works. This game also has another large oversight in how enemy health is programmed, as in enemies do not actually have health values. So you'll notice that, you know, I am attacking enemies and killing them, but we actually have a string of punches that's like a 1, 2, 3 jab. Basically, the way that he programmed this was some enemies will die to the first jab in your string of punches, some enemies will die to the second jab, and some enemies will die to the third jab. There's not any anything beyond that. It's basically first jab doesn't kill, second jab kills, true. That's basically how every single enemy in this game is designed. So that means that enemies that die to either the second or third jab in your string of jabs, you can infinite forever and they will never take damage. You can just sit there and continue to do the one punch in your jab forever and they will never die. Because, you know, well-designed game. That being said, you know, to try to add in a jumping attack instead of, you know, going back and saying, you know, jumping attack does so much health and enemies have so much health, he just made sure that every single enemy in the game dies to the jump kick. So I'm attacking a bunch of enemies that normally die to the third punch in your string of punches by just doing a jump kick at them, and it's way faster than going through 3 separate punches. And that's the only reason for that. Had he designed health, you know, it might have been different. And if we want to go through the story, well, there's not very much story of anything important at all. The designer of this game was a massive anime fan. If you haven't realized by now, you might notice that all of our running animations are the Naruto run. That was a purposeful choice, according to the game dev. We do Naruto run everywhere because he thought it looked cool, and he likes Naruto running. A bunch of the dialogue is just lifted straight from another one of his favorite animes, which I believe is like Ouran High School Chat something. So just large amounts of dialogue are just lifted straight from that anime, and it's quite a pain to try to read all of it because it doesn't really fit. It does not fit the storyline at all. Where you need to go at any given point is always hidden away in a bunch of boxes of dialogue, and it's a little difficult to read all the dialogue in the game. Okay, you saw there I just got short jumped, where instead of where every single other time I had jumped at least 3 tiles, out of nowhere I only jumped 2 tiles. That was a short jump, where the game just said, I don't know how far you should jump, I think you should jump very short. Fortunately, it didn't matter where it happened, but that's what I mean whenever we say the jumps are not consistent in length. So basically everything you're supposed to do is hidden in massive amounts of walls of text that are very obtuse to read and are lifted straight from an anime, and then at the end of it all just kind of mention, or somewhere in the middle, oh, you should go to such and such room. This game is very hard to play because of that, because you need to do just massive amounts of reading casually to understand where you need to go, and 99.9% of the dialogue makes no sense in context and is not worth reading because it was not meant for this game. It was lifted from an anime. I need to climb all the way up here because if I go low, I'll get impaled by spikes. The parkour aspects of this game actually were pretty cool, though. Like, I enjoyed the aesthetic of this game. How the screen changes upon each room. Just the general look of the game, and the idea of it being a parkour-based game instead of focused on enemies. You know, all that stuff was very interesting. There was a lot of promise in that. Story-wise, we're palling around with our two buddies that we've known since high school, but for bizarre reasons, we just seem to teleport everywhere. And they keep telling us weird things to do, such as, like, steal the keys from this girl's bathroom because that would be funny. And they just teleport us around and say, hey, you've got good parkour skills, why don't you go do that for us? And you wake back up and you're in a totally different place, and they're like, hey, you got good parkour skills, why don't you go do this for us? And you're just kind of like, okay, fine, whatever. I've known you guys for how long? Whatever. And your character really never questions that too much, and just keeps going along with it. At the end of the game, it's revealed that, you know, your two best friends are actually some form of demon, and I got short jumped. And that they have complete control over space and time, and they are just warping you around for fun. So, yeah, that's basically the game's storyline. Those enemies, when you attack them, they do explode, and you need to get out of the way of the explosion or you will die. The music of this game is lifted straight from other games that he had made. So, the music is never changing, and if you've played any other games that this developer has made, instantly recognizable. Jumping along those is much faster than actually crawling all the way across. And if we time this right, it's so much faster that I can... He is spawning in the wrong spot. Whatever. We'll just go the old-fashioned way. Why is he... I have never been hit by this guy actually attacking while jumping across. I don't know why. And it happened a bunch of times in a row there. Whatever. Those guys. I couldn't jump. So this game also has a lot of specific animations, and once you start an animation, you cannot change the animation. So I started an animation of running, which meant that I could not jump until the animation of running ended. And now I'm getting short jumped consistently. There we go. We got this key that we need. This has just been an interesting morning, to say the least. I need to wait for this guy, and then as soon as he looks away, we punch him and we get through. Please don't attack. There we go. Okay. There we go. And now we got to this elevator we need to get to. And we'll eventually talk to the teleporting demons that supposedly are our friends. And they'll tell us to go to another place. And I did not jump. And I got short jumped. So, how is everybody doing today? I hope that you've had a less frustrating morning than I have. Okay, fine. I didn't die at least. Okay, there we go. So here we go. We're back to our teleporting friends, and they're like, hey, why don't you go grab something for me? But it's really far away. That would be really nice, thank you. And all of a sudden, we are teleported back to high school. Because, you know, most animes happen in high school, so we have to be back in high school now. So we just randomly teleport to being in high school again, and our friends that we had from years ago were like, hey, I'm not a high school student, what happened? I'm 24. And we're like, well, I teleported you back in time to high school. Now go do this for me. We're like, okay, fine. It's basically the storyline at the moment. There we go. That jump is like a few pixels, and it's way more annoying than it has any right to be. And it's entirely because the game tries to assign you to certain landing positions. There we go. Actually got the kickoff that time. Bowl up. That's an interesting, I'm dead. Interesting message. Oh, I did not get the timing there. Okay, I'm just gonna have to wait. These guys will shoot you on sight, so you have to play around that. Those enemies can shoot, you can barely see it. We actually jumped off that guy's head, so that worked. Now we run through here, we get a new class of enemy. We need to get something in the bathroom. The bathroom has extra levels if you just go upstairs and wall right up to the top, because that makes sense. And there's an entire other room up here where we got a key card from. You know, it's completely normal bathrooms. This is the way every bathroom is built. This is up to ADA code. And now we've got that key card, we can go to the computer club, because for some reason they want us to do something with the computer club. And we just go through a bunch of dialogue saying, hey, we got that thing that you said you wanted us to get for the computer club. And they're like, yeah, cool, thanks. Anything else? Yeah, right up to the roof. Okay, fine. Like, that's like all the dialogue in this game is basically just like that. And it could be said much shorter, but wow, I got shot. And I got short jumped. Go the other way. And now we're up on the roof and we're doing what we were told to do. I did not mean to jump that far. And now we can go up here. And this game has 11 chapters. And we're in chapter 6, so, you know, we're doing alright. We're doing alright time-wise, you know. We're just randomly back in high school. Without much reason. But, you know, we've just got to finish that. Knock that guy off the edge. Oh, I climbed up too quickly. Ah, come on. Can't speedrun, you know. You need to do things nice and slow. So this guy stops moving. If you punch those guys and they don't go into a wall whenever they get hit, they just instantly come back and kill you. So we talked to the girls, and they're like, hey, we've done everything you wanted for us. And they're like, okay, cool. Can you go back? Oh, he's... There we go. And we're like, fine, we'll go back to our classroom now. We've got to go all the way back, and we're just kind of sitting here like, why are you making me go back to my classroom? I'm a 24-year-old, you know. What are you making me do this all for? They're just like, for reasons. So now we're in the janitorial section of our high school in the basement to get something that, you know, the teleporting demon friends wanted us to grab. I don't know why they make us go grab it, since, you know, they literally can teleport and control space and time. Like, why they just make us do their bidding instead of, you know, I don't know, teleporting to wherever they want to go? No, it's just a suggestion. It's what I would suggest. Okay, yeah, I can't. And there we go. Get the timing of those right. It's just, this is a very weird game, okay? We'll leave it at that. It's a very weird game. And my voice is hoarse, and my other game ended in a random softlock that I've never seen before in my life. It's been an interesting morning, and it's like 3 a.m. Go. We get a bunch of key cards. Wait here. We wait just a second and we run up that wall. And I got short jumped again. So I'm just going to do this. These guys also shoot you on sight, but they cannot see directly below them, so you just can sit there and wait. We jump over that. We're good to go. And we wait here because, again, he can't see directly below him, and we just run away. And we duck under those arrows and go on our merry way. We wait there for a second for that guy, and just get around him. Okay, there you go. You did not throw a bomb on my head. Thank you, enemy. And I got short jumped. This guy... Okay, please... Okay, he backed up enough after a punch to let me through the door. All of these enemies are supposedly yokai, and some obvious robots, but most of them are supposedly yokai. There's also a large amount of samurai zombies at the end of the game, for reasons that are too complex to try to explain logically, and it's not worth our time. But basically, the end of the game, our teleporting demons are like, hey, we heard about this company that's resurrecting the dead. That's really bad. Could you go stop them? And we're just like, can't you do it? And they're like, no. We're like, fine, we'll go stop them for you. So we have to deal with a bunch of zombie samurai. But for now, we're just back in high school doing our random friends bidding. Barely got hit there. I'll wait this out. Oh, come on. I was up at the top of the pole there to climb. And now we go into this exact same door again, but it leads to an entirely different room this time because game design and our best friends make us teleport everywhere. There we go. But this is finally the end of Chapter 7. We talk to the principal, who turns out to be one of those demon friends in disguise, and they're like, fine, class is dismissed, and we're like, class dismissed, and all of a sudden we wake up on a train. And there's no explanation as to why. And now we're back to the real world. And we've got to help the demon girls get beer. It doesn't make much sense. But she's like, but we can't do that because our other friends are probably angry at us. So you know what you should do? You should get the ID card of one of our friends from her apartment. Go parkour your way into her apartment and then we can buy what we need with her ID. Fine. And we agreed to that. And I am jumping that completely wrong. Come on. Come on. There we go. So now we're, in the apartment building and our teleporting friend is already here and they're like, you're going to need to go outside. I'm like, fine. We'll go outside. And that's what we do. And we parkour our way from one apartment building to the other. Instead of, knocking on the door like a sane person. And oh wow, the apartment has really strong security, including bombs. This is something normal for most apartment buildings to have. But we'll go grab the stuff that we need. And for some reason the stuff we need is in a bathroom. I don't know. We need to go up to the top here to make it through. Okay, I need to actually land on the edge there. Thank you. We barely made that. And now we have a small skip here that I'll attempt once. I didn't get it. Let's go for it again. Okay, never mind. As I mentioned, the game tries to assign your landing position, and you can sometimes get the game to freak out and try to assign your landing position as the door. And sometimes you just fall to your death. Because it doesn't expect you to, jump from that angle downward, so sometimes the game will just say, oh, you clearly were just trying to land on the tile that is the door, right? That's what you were doing. But it didn't want to work with us, so that's what we did. We did the room the actual old-fashioned way. So now we need to go up to the roof of this apartment building for some reason, and I genuinely do not remember why, but the apartment building manager is like, yeah, you can get up to the roof if you want, I guess. I don't know why you guys want to go up there, but it's open, but the elevator's broken. And the time-traveling teleporting girls, instead of saying, here, let's just teleport up to the roof, are like, hey, you, go up to the roof for us and get the elevator working so that we can ride the elevator up. And we're like, fine. So that's what we're going to do now. We are running to get the elevator working for the other girls. You can literally teleport anywhere they want instead of doing whatever. So the issue was that the elevator was missing a key card, and now we have the key card that will open the elevator. So we just go back down here, we've got the key card, and we open the elevator, and we're to chapter 9. And now they tell us, wait, we heard rumors that there is an evil company that is raising people from the dead because it's going to make them money somehow. We need info on them. And instead of saying, you guys should just teleport to where that info is held, we're like, sure, we'll go get that for you. So we run through the apartment building to try to get the info the crazy teleporters want for us. Oh, we found the key card to open the computers later. And now we go through here. I did not mean to jump again. There you go. You saw the game kind of glitched out with where I was moving in air and I was stuck in one animation. That was the game getting confused as to where it should assign me to land. So it just kind of did that. It's a well-designed game. Like, the aesthetic of the game is pretty interesting. The controls are terrible. Now that we have the key card, we can open up the computer and we now know, like, the address of this place, so... Okay, fine. Let's get through. So now we just need to get back out. There we go. We can just barely beat out those fire shooting enemies. We get through this elevator and we are heading out of the apartment finally. And you just had to throw that. These little guys are terrible. But there we go. jump over and just do it that way. And we need to wait. Oh, wow. The game thought it was doing a wall jump, and it made me just stick to the wall. That's good. That's nice. There we go. I need to wait for you to shoot, and then I can jump over you before you shoot again. I wanted to, you know, grab the pole, not face plant into spikes, but, you know, whatever, game. No. There we go. There we go. So we've got another key card to make our way out of the apartments. I don't know what that was. All of a sudden I stopped jumping and started jumping in place because this game's controls just work perfectly. I get the feeling that I'm not doing great on my estimate at the moment. Come on. There we go. We can do another skip here, and we got it that time where the game again freaks out about where we should go. We got another key card. And we just kind of land perfectly at the bottom. There we go. Oh. There we go. There we go. Oh, you shot upward. I rarely ever see you shoot upward. Whatever. But there we go. That is the end of Chapter 9. And they're like, wow, you got all the key cards. We can stop the nano machines now. And so we leave the apartment and we're like, hey, this is where the evil corporation is. You know, but there's a magic seal on the door, so we need your help in like getting through the magic seal. So first we need a talisman that is in a different apartment building. So we're going to run and grab the talisman. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, at least I can just take a death and redo that jump. And now we just need to hit that switch. And we can get our way through this really wacky home security system. So we got the necessary materials to make the talisman. And we're good to go. What's my time at, by the way? And someone in chat can maybe help me with that. I know there's going to be a large delay, but just hit the 40-minute mark. Wow, I'm actually doing fine on time then. That's wild. My perception of time is completely thrown out the window after everything that happened in the previous run. But we've got the necessary materials to make the talisman, and we can go drop those off. And we've got the talisman now, and now we need a special coin. And that's what we're going to grab. And once we have the coin, we'll be able to open up the other door. The door to the evil corporation. Except the special coin is up on the balcony and the elevator is broken, so let's go run up to the balcony the hard way instead of taking the elevator. So I need to wait here, need to jump over that, I need to wait for those guys to go through their cycle so they don't shoot. I'll punch you in the wall, because those enemies will shoot on sight. I need to wait. There we go. And we found the coin already. Now we just need to get back out. I jumped too quick. And I did not make the jump, so I need to redo it. So, fun fact, there is actually an infinite jump in this game. Oh, you just saw a small glitch there where I got boosted forward because the game was like, where are you supposed to be? But we have the special coin, and we can leave and open. And that was the game getting confused again where I was supposed to be. And it just teleported me down to the floor. It zipped me down. I was not doing that. I was holding in an entirely different direction and I just zipped downwards. So now we've got the materials to get into the building of the evil corporation, and now we've got a bunch of zombie samurais that they have resurrected for whatever reason. So we've got to get rid of them, and once we get rid of them, that is the final chapter of the game. At which point the friends that are teleporting us through time and space tell us, oh, that was fun, and we're like, why do you do this? And they're like, I don't know. That's literally what happens. We ask them, the ending cutscene is us asking them, why do they do all this? And they're just like, we don't know. All I know is that every time I do something, she undoes it. And the other one's like, anytime that I do anything, you undo everything I do. And we're like, maybe you two should go to couples counseling, I don't know. And the game ends. So we gotta wait for these enemies, because again, they shoot us on sight, so we just hide directly below them. Parkour our way around, and we can get through that. Here we go. Get out of the way. Fortunately, these samurais are only 2-hit fellas. And if we get a flying jump kick, that allows us to go all the way down. Quite easy. Oh. There we go. There we go. This room is one of the worst in the game. There we go. We got the timing down. You're getting shot at by multiple different directions, and it's just very, very hard to deal with. There we go. Okay. Thank you for doing good anti-air. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. And now we got these guys that also throw stuff at us. And we can get our way through. Hey, we're able to just land on that guy's head instead of fighting him. He made that easy for us. We can get away before we get spotted. Oh, did not make the jump. I'm going to need to wait this out. And there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, come on. Stay on the right cycle this time. Thank you. And we're almost to the end of this chapter. Whoops. We went to just basically barely duck down after he attacks, but we'll just take this the old-fashioned way and wait for him. There we go. And we can get around. This is one of the worst jumps in the game. You need the game to recognize that you grab the ledge without trying to put you on top of the ledge. And it's actually an incredibly specific jump. The fact that it took that few tries is actually amazing. That jump is way harder than it looks. And it's entirely due to the fact that, you know, the game tries to assign what position you land instead of actually just calculating, hey, you jumped so far. But, you know, we're almost to the end. The game does not have very much warning whenever you actually hit the end. Because, again, you know, there's not actually any boss fights in this game, so you just hit one of these rooms and out of nowhere the game just ends. Okay, there we go. So one of these rooms we're just going to randomly end. You know, good game design. So this is the last room in the game of where it's actually challenging. So we just need to wait for this last cycle and go through last dialogue text boxes, and that will be the game. Oh my goodness, can I make it? Oh, okay. I got short jumps twice in a row and it made me lose the cycle. Oh well. At least we're at the end. At least we're at the end. There we go. So we just need to get through this last bit of dialogue, and that'll be time. Where they tell us, oh wait, yeah, we're demons, and we pull people that we like to mess with through time, but you're really fun to mess with because you know parkour. We're transporting you back to the train. And we just went back in time. And that is time. That is the end of the game. So what was the final time? Whew. $50.13. I might actually have to recheck that. That run went way better than I thought it did, because that might have been a PB. It was super close. Let's see. That's a PB / world record. That by 2 seconds. This is such a weird morning. This is such a weird morning. This is such a weird morning. Yeah, that's a 2-second PB / world record. I don't know what to say. Yeah. Yeah, if it's actually 50-13, that is by 2 seconds. That is okay.